Hello. Let me just get rid of my iPad. So welcome again. I can't believe how quickly 2 weeks comes around. So here we are again. You would have all received the recipe, so we popped that up online for you, and here to join me. Also just wanted to let you know, if you're not watching this actually live, we can't answer your questions once the live's finished. So while the live's on, we've got Rose behind the scenes answering all your questions as we go. So make sure that you pop your questions up there. You're welcome to pop up feedback on things that you'd like to see cooked or questions that you have. But once the live's happened, it's really difficult for us to keep on top of each of them each fortnight and answering questions constantly. So, but feel free, please make sure you ask lots of questions tonight. So I'm just waiting for everyone to jump on board. So welcome to you if you haven't joined us before. I'd love to know if it's your first time. So, reach out to us and let us know if you're a first timer joining us for one of our lives. And I hope that if you are a first timer that you get lots out of today. I always ask that you give us ideas of what you'd like to see, which has been really great. So people were asking for some kid-friendly recipes, hence why we decided tonight to do meatballs. Okay, so it's a great one to get the kids to help you with as well, because we're actually going to roll those meatballs. And I thought it would be really nice because people have also been asking to see our steamer in action. So we're going to get that going tonight as well. And we're going to do it all in the one pot, which is exciting. So at the end of all this, we're going to pour water in there and it's going to wash up for us and we're done. So super excited to be doing meatballs with you tonight. Lots of different variations, of course, to a recipe like this as well. So let us know where you're all coming from. What are we at? A couple of minutes past. We might get started, give you all another couple of minutes or another minute to get on. Let us know where you're watching us from. It was really cool last week. We saw a few people watching from New Zealand, which was really exciting. So, great that our Kiwi mates are watching as well, and really excited to have you join us on our Cook Expert journey. And so really excited to get started. So the first thing I might get you to do is if you, in the recipe I did say 50 grams of bread and 50 grams of milk. So what I actually need you to do, if you want to come and have a look, is actually get your bread and just chop it into little cubes for me. So if you want to start doing that to get that ready for me now, then you can make sure that you're on board when we're ready to use that. And this is just an alternative to breadcrumbs. So it's a nice way to be able to use bread that you've got at home too, if you've got bread that needs to be used, that we can actually use in our recipe tonight. So we might get started. So if you're busy chopping up your bread, it's okay. We'll go nice and slow for you and we'll make sure that you keep up. If you miss any of the steps, Rose is there to help answer any of your questions as well. And she'll make sure that she catches you up. Also too, we'll make sure that we pin the method for you tomorrow or so, just so that you've got it as well, so it makes it nice and easy. So this is a recipe that I actually just kind of made up. So I kind of just played with the ingredients and the things that I thought would be nice and what would work. So it is a tried recipe that I actually have made sure is amazing for here, like I do all the recipes that we do. But it is amazing. I was really excited to see that I could make sauce simmering in the bottom while my meatballs steamed in the top. So it makes it a really quick, easy meal once you've done the sort of prep work. Okay, so if you've got your bread chopped up, the first thing I want you to do is I want you just to pour your milk over those breadcrumbs and let that milk start soaking into those breadcrumbs. Okay, so we'll just get that happening first. So the next thing we're going to do is we're using parsley. Now in the instructions or the ingredients, we did say curly parsley. So you've got obviously flat leaf parsley, but this is your curly leaf parsley. If you've got the wrong parsley, it's okay. I just find that with this recipe, it just chopped a lot easier and just made it a lot better for the meatballs. So in there, I'm going to pop in my parsley and I'm also going to pop in a couple of cloves of garlic. Now, if you wanted to do less garlic, do less garlic. If you want to do more garlic, do more garlic. It's completely up to you. And that's what's great about a recipe like this. You can take away whatever it is that you want. If you decide you don't want any garlic, you might want garlic powder or something like that in there instead. Okay, so what we're going to do, now I'm really excited because I've just been rinsing obviously. Let's go back, shall we? I've just discovered, and I don't know why I didn't use it before, sorry about the top of my head, I never used it before, and I don't know whether anyone else does. But the pulse button, it's like my new best friend now when I'm chopping things like this up. The fact that I can see into the bowl, and I'm actually going to get you to come over and watch while I do this, because by holding the pulse button, it just basically runs. Okay, so you can see in there. Are you ready? I'm going to hold it down. Oops, why is that not? Oh, hang on, sorry. Let me just choose my mode. Okay, are you ready? So one quick whiz on the pulse button, and I can see what's happening in there, so you can as well. I want to go a little bit longer. But what I love about the pulse function is my garlic that's still in large chunks is falling back to the bottom, and I can go again and again as many times as I like. So obviously, let me just grab a spatula. Obviously then we're going to scrape the sides of that down. But if you want to come and have a look, how beautiful. Sorry, I'm just making my poor camera woman go backwards and forwards. But you can see how amazing that has just chopped up that beautiful parsley. It already smells amazing. And that garlic and everything in there ready to go. So voila, done. First stage. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start adding all of our ingredients. So first of all, we'll pop in our mince. So we'll just spread that around a little bit. We're going to pop in our eggs. Oh, no pressure not to get shell in there while you're all watching. Okay, I'll pop in those eggs. It's all right, I won't tell you, and I won't tell my kids. We'll see who finds it. Okay, now what I want you to do is with the bread, I actually want you to squeeze out, if you can, just the milk. Okay, so if there's excess milk in there, because you don't want sloppy, runny meatballs, so we're just going to squeeze that out, spread that around. I'm going to do the rest of our bread as well. Now I am just going to quickly wash my hands. You don't have to come with me. Okay. Okay, so we've got that in and ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pop on our cover again. And I'm just going to use the, oh, pardon my voice. I'm just going to use the, oh, actually, before I do that, I am going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, just for a little bit of seasoning. And again, as much or as little as you like that you can add in there. So it's completely up to you and your taste as to what you're going to pop in there as well. Some people don't like pepper or adding salt, so completely up to you. So we're going to pop that on like so. Then we're going to go and we're going to use our expert mode again. Okay, so if you want to come in and have a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm on expert and I'm going to flick across to the speed. I'm actually going to start, so I'm going to press auto and you can see as I go, and I'm going to start it by mixing it just on 3. Now, make sure you're still on speed, and I'm just going to slowly up my speed. And this is what I love about the glass top. And I'm going to slowly up my speed, and I get up to about 12. And you can see that that's starting to bring everything together for me beautifully. And this will take about a minute, okay? So about a minute to mix this together. Because you can see inside, it's also great because you know if it needs to be scraped down on the side. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to have a quick look. But I actually think that in that not long time at all, that I think we are actually pretty good. Okay, so mine have looked like they've absolutely mixed beautifully. So I'll give you a few or a couple of seconds if you feel that you need a little bit more mixing, so don't stress. But at this stage, what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling our balls. So we can actually roll it straight out of here, and we're going to pop them straight into our steamer. Now, the best tip I can give you about rolling meatballs, if you don't want to wear gloves, because I find gloves get a little bit annoying, is actually just to pop a little bit of olive oil on your hands, okay? So just a little bit, nice and moisturising too. And we're just going to start rolling out some meatballs, okay? So as large or small as you want them, we're going to pop those in. Now, if you fill the bottom of your steaming tray, it's okay, just pile them on top of each other, because honestly, I'll show you at the end, they don't stick to each other. So we've got that little bit of oil. They're absolutely gorgeous. We're just popping them in there. This is where you get your kids involved. Mine didn't seem to want to help, but, you know, they're a little bit older, so maybe that's why. But those, you know, little kids, and you know what? When kids are involved in the kitchen, kids will eat the food that they cook or that they help to cook. So it's a really great way to get them. So when I did this the other night, I got about 24 meatballs out of this batch of mince. So remembering that it was a 500 grams of mince, and then our parsley and our garlic. We also have in there our salt and pepper. What have I missed? Our bread, of course. Don't forget the bread. So we're just putting these in nicely. So if you want to come and have a little look at how we're looking as we put these in, but nice and quickly. Honestly, they're going to get eaten. They don't need to be absolutely perfect, although mine look pretty good. They don't need to be absolutely perfect little balls. We'll show you again in a minute what I mean by if it's too much, just to pop them on top of each other. And I did trial that, so I wanted to make sure. I mean, I could do less mince if I wanted, but if I'm doing a recipe, I always like to cook more than I need anyway. But this is a really good meal for a family of 4. You could probably even squeeze it to 6 if you've got little ones as well. Okay. We're nearly there. Hope you're all keeping up with mixing your meatballs. So obviously this is the longest part of the process of making meatballs, and it's really not a big deal. And it really still makes it nice and quick. So that in there. Last little bit. Well, actually, I might get 2 out of that. Did anyone count? I should have counted, but the other day I did count and I got exactly 24 meatballs out of my batch. Okay, so you can have a look now. Oh, I'll just pick that up, that I've got all my meatballs in there, placed on top of each other. It's all good. I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, perfect. Now, what are we going to do next? We're actually going to clean our bowl, okay? So, if I've just boiled the jug because the hot water here takes forever because for some reason the hot water system's on the complete other side of the earth. But I'm just going to pour in some hot water and you fill it to, basically I find, I don't even look at the litre on the side, I fill it till it's just past. So if you want to have a look, it's just past the blade, and that tends to be where I fill that too. And then I'm just going to pop, and I'm sure if you're all using your machines that you're all using this. If you're, it helps if you open the container too. If you're not a Magimix user yet and you're looking at just, you know, having a look at how it works, and this is a really great demo of seeing how this bad boy cleans itself, and this is my favourite part. Okay, so we're just going to go back out and we're going to go, I always go backwards because it's right there. You don't actually have to go okay, you can just hit auto straight away. And if you want to come in and have a look, if you come in and have a little look, you can see that it's washing the glass, it's washing right up to the top, and it's also washing into that cap, which is fabulous as well. So we'll just give that a few seconds to run. And then all we need to do from there is give it a quick rinse and a quick dry, and we're going to move on. You actually probably don't even need to dry it, but just give it a quick rinse. And we're going to move on to making that beautiful sauce, and we're going to get our meatballs steaming, which is great. So remember, have your passata, your onions and your garlic ready, oregano, and again, the herb of your choice really. I can probably stop that now. So, you know, if you wanted to put basil in here instead of oregano, it's completely up to you. If you wanted to use a mixed spice, and again, it's up to you, but that's what I use. So I'm just going to disappear for a moment, and I'm going to give that a quick rinse. And you're going to use it again, so really don't need to be over the top fussy. You just want that raw meat, although you're going to be cooking in it, so it probably doesn't really matter. Okay, and you can see I've just given that a quick rinse, and check out how amazingly clean that bowl is. Like, it's mind-blowing that it washes up so beautifully. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on. I'm not even going to be that fussy with drying it up. And there we have it. And of course we need our lid back. Okay, so do you all need a breather? Do you need me to wait a second while you're washing your bowls? I don't want to rush into anything and you're not quite be ready for us. But if you wanted to change the things in your meatballs as well, so you can do anything with them. The other thing I thought of today, I love mushrooms. Would have been really nice to have added mushrooms to this recipe while I'm cooking the sauce. So if you've got mushrooms at home and you want to add them and you love them, I would add them. So there's absolutely no reason why you can't do that. The other thing you could do is add some chili. So if you want to add some chili to your sauce, if you want to, I ended up buying a passata that actually had herbs in it. I found it hard to get a plain one, but it doesn't matter. So whatever it is that you like and that you enjoy is what you can do. So hopefully you're all ready to go again. Got our bowls washed and ready to go. So I'm going to pop in my onion and my couple of garlic cloves. So we're going to pop that in and we're going to get that chopped. So again, I find that the pulse doesn't work as well when I'm doing things like the onion and the garlic together, but it works beautifully, as you saw, when I'm doing parsley. So I actually will go back and use the expert mode. And we'll go back. So what I tend to do is I like to start at 3. And if you want to come in and have a look, you can see that 3 doesn't do a lot, okay? So I'm going to start that. It kind of just flicks it around. It's not doing a great deal because with our machine, it's about the speed, not about the sharpness of the blade. Okay, so we're going to then slowly start upping the speed and you can start to see that will start to chop our onion up. So that's now on about 14 and looking in the top there, I'm going, that looks pretty good. So see how you go, but if you need to scrape down the edges, then absolutely you can do that and go again if you need to. For me, I'm quite happy with that onion. So did you want to have a look? Oh, it's going to make me cry though. I meant to leave my onion in the fridge, but actually I got a really good tip the other day from a fabulous French man who told me that and if you're watching David, you know who I'm talking about, that told me to rinse your hands in cold water. That's what you need to do. So should I try it? I will. I'm going to rinse my hands and see if it stops my eyes crying. Right, David, I'm testing your theory. Oh, so much better. No, I'm okay. Right, so moving on. We're now going to add our passata. Okay, so it's just the bottle. Oh, no, I wasn't meant to do that yet. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what I was meant to do was fry off see, David, you threw me. Fry off your onion and your garlic. So if you haven't poured your passata in, I want you to pop on your onion and your garlic with some olive oil for about 3 minutes, okay? So what I find, so get that happening. Don't worry about me, I've just lost the plot. But get that happening and pop that on for 3 minutes on 100 degrees at speed 3, okay? So you need to make sure that you do that. Now, the great thing is when you're cooking for yourself, it doesn't matter. It's all good. We'll be right. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that and to get that onion and that garlic cooking. So 3 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 3, so that it's just sautéing. I do tend to, and don't stop to listen to me, listen and work at the same time. I don't want to get you behind, but take the cap off because you want it not to sweat. You actually want that to fry off a little bit. So make sure that you do that. So I'll pop my cap back on because I don't need to fry my onion and garlic off because, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. Okay, so that's okay. That's going on in there. So make sure that you can start doing that and getting it ready. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get some water to add into my jar because I really hate wasting all of that amazing passata that's still going to be in that bottle because I haven't used it fast and it hasn't all poured out. Okay, so you're ticking through your 3 minutes with your onion and that's all good. Again, if you wanted to add more herbs, if you don't want to use the wine, you don't have to put wine in it. You might decide to put red wine over white wine. Okay, so it's completely up to you. I'll just give you a few more minutes. Completely up to you how you do it, but it can be anything you like. Okay, so I mentioned before if you didn't want to do oregano, that you could do some basil, less garlic, more garlic, so many different variations of this. I probably should go to my fridge and start chopping up some mushrooms while I've got some time, do you think? Then I can kill you a couple more minutes. Hopefully I've got some. Oh, a house with no mushrooms. That's really sad. Unusual too. Okay, so hopefully now you've got a few more minutes done, and I'm going to get started on... Okay, so if you've done your frying off, I want you to scrape down the sides if you need to. Just that little bit up there. So we're just pretending that I fried it off. I had a dream last night that I mucked something up, so hopefully that's it. I'm done now. That's the bit that I mucked up. Okay, so if you're ready to add your passata, if you're quite not, then it's okay, because this is going to cook for 15 minutes, so you can catch up. It'll be okay. But all you're going to do is add your passata. You're going to add in your white wine, if you've opted to put in the white wine. And we're going to add in some oregano as well. Okay, so that's it. We're in. Give that a little... It doesn't really need to be stirring because it'll stir itself as we go. Okay, so let me just declutter a little because I've got something fabulous to show you. Okay. Now, if we're going to add into our sauce as well, you might want to add in some pepper, lots of it, and a little bit of salt if you want, up to you. And we're going to pop our lid on that. Oops. Nearly forgot my meatballs. God, that would have been two things. Oh my gosh, seriously. See, you know what? You don't have to be amazing to be able to cook meatballs. It's all good. Okay, so we've popped that in. So we've got our steamer basket in. We've got our beautiful meatballs sitting in there. Now you might look going, oh, there's not a lot of room, and how's the steam going to come up? Just watch. I'm not going to tell you what happens. I'm just going to let you see it. Okay, so I'm going to pop our cover on. Beautiful. And we're going to go to our expert mode because that's our favourite mode. And we're going to go for 15 minutes. So I do apologise for those of you slightly behind because of the onion, garlic, olive oil fiasco, but we'll be right. Okay, and then I'm going to get you to leave it on speed 3. I want that to be continually stirring over the 15 minutes. We don't want anything sticking to the bottom, and we want it to be bubbling, and we want it to be amazing. And I also want to pop that on 120 degrees, okay? Now, when I was testing this, 100 degrees wasn't enough to get those beautiful meatballs cooking, and 120 wasn't too much that it killed the sauce, okay? So trust me, I've been testing it. I've been practicing with that one. So you can see that 15 minutes, speed 3, we're all ready to go, and I'm going to hit start. Ooh. So I'm going to tell you when to go back and look at yours, or I'll get you to come and have a look at mine. Sorry, I need a tissue just quickly from that onion. Okay, so what I thought that we'd do tonight is I wanted to show you how to make a hummus, okay? So you all received with your... I'm actually going to bring this machine out because that would just be more fun. A little bit like that. Okay, so what I thought is we'd make a beautiful hummus. So you all received your beautiful food processor when you purchased your Cook Expert. So it all came in that beautiful bundle. And I thought that I'd show you something else. So we've made mayonnaises and we've done dips and we've done all sorts of fun things. So tonight I wanted to start by showing you how to do a beautiful hummus. So all I'm going to do now, I've already washed my chickpeas. And I know we haven't given you the recipe for this, but it is actually on the Magimix app. So if you don't have the Magimix app, make sure you download it. And this is under appetizers and the beautiful recipes in there. So I thought it'd just be fun to show you how beautifully and quickly and easily we can make something like a hummus. Do you know my favourite hummus at the moment is beetroot? Okay, so there is also a recipe for beetroot hummus as well, and that is on the app as well. So it's roasting beetroot, steaming the beetroot in the steamer actually, and then adding it here. Okay, so we've got that. Now we also want our tahini. So tahini is basically a sesame seed paste, okay? It can be tricky to find, but I always seem to find it in the health food aisle, so it must be good for us, because it tends to be like a macro organic type thing. So if you're having trouble finding it, that is where you will find it. Okay, then I'm also going to add some lemon juice. already feeling amazing. And then I'm also going to add, now if you wanted to, in the recipe, you can add a little bit of mint to this as well, okay? So I'm just going to pour in about 2/3 of the olive oil, okay? So I'm not going to pour it all in, because what I find whenever I make dips or pestos or mayonnaises, the best way to get it to blend is to pour that oil through the top. So I'm going to make sure that we do that again tonight. Okay, so I'm going to pop on our... Now, I want to show you something really clever. So if you can zoom in to the screen, okay? Someone very clever named Rose showed me this one. So you can see at the moment it says baking, and I'm going to put on my food processor, and then I'm going to lock the top on, and it automatically changes to food processor. How clever is that? Oh, another fantastic tip that you learn along the way, but it does it for you, so you don't need to worry about having to do that and mucking around with it and being afraid of it. It's going to do it for you once you click on that lid. Okay, so food processor, as you know, you're all using it, I'm sure, but the food processor, you don't need to worry about time, speed, anything like that. It all does that for you automatically. So all we need to do is hit auto. I don't think anything will fly out of there, but I'm just going to put the cap on just in case. So we're going to start that beautiful process, and then I'm going to start adding in. So if you want to come in and have a little look, you can see that that is starting to come together. And then as I start adding olive oil, you can see that it starts to really move and become more of a paste, which is what we want. Okay, how easy is that? You know what? Chickpeas are a really simple thing to keep in the pantry. Okay, so we've got silly season starting, and you're going to start to have hopefully more visitors, especially you a lot in Melbourne. I hope that you start to get to have more visitors, which will be exciting. But we are going to, that's what starts to happen. Then you get into Christmas and all those crazy things. So be prepared. You know, buy these things when they're on special in the supermarkets as well, which is always great. Tahini will then store in your fridge, so it'll store in there for quite some time. But they're super simple things that you can have in the pantry ready to go. Now I'm going to grab a bowl. And I'm going to show you. My trick isn't working in there yet, so you'll have to wait. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. And we're going to pop this into our bowl. But look how much 1 can of chickpeas makes for your hummus. I really now want to add beetroot to this because beetroot is amazing. But you can see from that it's made an absolutely delicious dip that we can be feeding our friends and our family. So I'll just get rid of that. Okay, so I knew that we'd have a little bit of time. Do I have enough time? I hope I do. Oh, I do. 9 minutes. Once I start to see, hang on, let me see, it might be happening. Okay, it is, sort of. So at the moment, you can just see, I don't know if you can see, but try, you can just see that the tomato sauce is just starting to come through on the edges. Now, that's only been going for, what did we say, 15? It's been going for 6 minutes, and it's already started to get that, you know, coming up. Very shortly, you're going to start seeing bubbles of tomato sauce flicking up through the meatballs, coming all together, and those meatballs will really start to cook. So even in 6 minutes, you might be thinking, I don't think they're going to cook, and this is exactly what I went through when I was testing this, and they did, and they were amazing. So we'll show you that in a minute. But what I thought I'd do is, lots of people mentioned last week that they loved seeing the spiralizer because it was something they'd ummed and ahed about. So I thought it'd be great to show you different things that we have along the way, so that if you are interested in purchasing any of those things, that at least you know how to use them. So it's certainly not us trying to sell you anything. It's just that if you're ever thinking, or you do have these products, that you actually are using them, because we do invest quite a lot when we come to kitchen appliances, and we want to make sure that we're actually, using all of those. So this is actually I'm going to show you, is our dicing kit. So the dicing kit basically comes with our dicer. Okay, so this is the top of your food processor, and it's designed to fit exactly the same as this fits in our food processor. Okay, so this is what it's designed for. So if you've got the 5200 food processor, it fits in that as well. So what happens with this one is it comes with, first of all, this little hook here, which is basically used for cleaning, and that just sits in the side, so we can leave that in there. On the bottom, if you want to come in and have a look, on the bottom there is the cutting blade. Now that slips off as well. Okay, so all great for cleaning and nice and easy. And then we've got this one here, which does our pushing. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is, I was thinking, if I'm going to be making hummus, then we need carrot sticks, because you can't have hummus without carrot sticks, because it just doesn't work like that. Oh, sorry, my carrots. So basically what we're doing in here is we're just going to push our carrot through, and it's going to give us, do you see that? My cameraman's face just was like, oh my gosh. Can I just show you now the perfect carrot sticks in our dicer? So look at that. Who said you can't have perfect, evenly made carrot sticks? Oh, now you want to eat hummus even more, don't you? Because it's all ready to go. Now, that's the first thing I wanted to show you, but it gets even better. So I know now we're coming out of coming out of winter. So when we were in winter, this to me was the most amazing thing when it came to making minestrones, vegetable soups, anything like that. Let me show you. Are you ready to be amazed? Let's start with a potato. Okay, so I'm going to pop my potato in. Now I did cut the potato in half because I want it to fit in there, but I'm going to pop that in and I'm going to cover that. Now, when you get, so did I actually show you that? When you get your dicer kit, you will actually get this as well, which is our 10 centimetre blade. Okay, so you can see, can you see that? It's quite a big, I don't want to stick my finger through there because I'll probably chop it off, but there's quite a large gap there. Okay, so the idea of that is, I'm going to get my carrot sticks out of there first because that's my dinner. Jokes. Okay, not that it really matters. Okay, so we're going to pop that in there. Are you ready? What have we got? Oh. Okay, you have to come back and look at the meatballs. Okay, this is like what I get so excited about. Hopefully you can see in there. So what did I say? It was 9 minutes. So 4 minutes later, you can see, actually, let's see if you can see through there. You can start to see that those meatballs are changing to a beautiful brown, and that sauce is starting to bubble, and that smell is amazing. Again, the cameraman just started drooling and is hoping that they get fed tonight. Okay, so I'm going to pop this on. What have we got? Okay, we've got plenty of time. Look at that. Now, are you ready to be amazed? So this time we're going to actually use the food processor, and we're going to hit start. Are you ready? Now I'm going to do a sweet potato. Now, if you've got a harder vegetable, you do have to give it a little bit of a whack. Are you ready? So imagine doing a beautiful vegetable soup or a minestrone, and have a look at these beautiful pieces of diced vegetable that is coming out of your dicer. Okay, so imagine in summer doing a beautiful fruit salad by popping your apples and things through here. So I'm going to show you. So you might want to come in again. So when you do get your dicer, you get this handy little book that has some beautiful things in there. So this one here they've diced up some beautiful pears for the top of their dessert. So hopefully you can see that. Check this out though. This is fruit salad that's been put through the dicer to absolutely look amazing. And you look so clever. You actually look like you stood there and you actually diced everything, which is wonderful. Beautiful minestrone soup, which we mentioned. And again, lots of things that you can find recipe-wise. So that's a pan-fried vegetable red curry, a stir-fry. But look, chips. So you could do sweet potato fries, you could do potato fries, you could do parsnip if you wanted to, anything that you want to do that you want to cut like that. Imagine all of these turned into chips, which you can then pop into your air fryer. So if you have an air fryer, that is the best way and healthiest way to be able to cook things like this. So yeah, an air fryer is a really great idea. Do you know what else would, I think, be fabulous? And there's a recipe in here for it, but could you imagine dicing up your cucumbers and your capsicums and then dicing up your feta to go into your Greek salad? Like, how amazing would that look for your guests at Christmas time as well? So some really fabulous little recipes that you can get out of this little book as well that actually comes with that one. So how long have we got? Oh, 2 minutes. I hope that you can smell this because honestly, it is absolutely amazing. So we're going to just tidy this up a little bit. I'm going to get a little bowl. I can hear my washer-uppers. They're knocking on the door. They're ready to eat. Now, in terms of what to serve this with, we did list quite a few things because really it's completely up to you. So you might want to serve it on rice. You might want to do it on mash. Zoodles is another great way to be able to serve this with as well. Of course, pasta, but lots of different ideas of what you can actually serve your meatballs up in. So what I'm going to do is once this is finished, we're going to carefully take out the steamer and then I'm actually going to pour the meatballs into the bowl. But I want to show you how beautifully those meatballs have separated so that you can actually see that they're not all stuck together now that I dumped them all on top of each other. So I might actually just let me grab a large plate and I'll sit the steamer on there and then you can come over and have a look at how amazing they are. Chili flakes, perfect thing to add to your sauce as well. So it's endless. It's endless, completely endless. That what you can do. So, you know, lots of flavour. The other thing you might want to do is actually grate carrot and zucchini and mix that through your meatballs as well. So if you've got little ones that don't like to eat vegetables, that's a really great way to hide your veggies, as I'm sure you all know. So you can do that as well. So we've got 30 seconds to go. This is honestly such a quick thing to do. If you wanted to pre-prep any of this, you could actually freeze your meatballs. So you could actually have them in the freezer ready to cook. But really, honestly, we started at 6 o'clock. This has been going for 35 minutes and we had that prep work done, which really didn't take long to get ready. That's a really super simple, child-friendly and a great way for you to use your steamer as well. So for anyone that owns our really large steamer, you could make 100 meatballs easily by doing this. Wow, the smell is sensational, I will tell you. Okay, so 15 minutes that this has been going. I'm going to pull out. So the steamer's got a little handle as well, but just still be careful. I still might actually use some. I don't want to burn myself. That'd be embarrassing. Okay, so I'm going to pop that out and you can see our beautiful sauce. If you want to come and have a little look at the sauce, it's still bubbling beautifully in there. And I'm going to get you out a meatball. You can see how they're actually just rolling off each other. So I'm not actually having to worry about them sticking to each other. But I'm going to pull out. And you know what? Test to make sure your meatballs are ready because I'd hate to, if you've rolled them larger and they're not going to be ready, then just check. If they're not ready, pop it back in for a couple of minutes. It's okay. And we're going to open that up. Oh, look at that. Absolutely cooked to perfection. So what I would do, if you found that they were slightly pink in the middle, by the time you pour them back into the sauce, honestly, they're going to be fine. Oh, I've got a little one. Let me use this. This would be so much better. Okay, so I'm just going to very carefully, actually, let me do it this way so you can come and look, but I'm going to very carefully just roll. See how they just roll apart beautifully? And I'm just going to roll those meatballs apart, and I'm going to pop them in to my beautiful sauce that I've got going there. Now, obviously, we didn't do pasta in this because you wouldn't have fit your pasta in there. So that's our beautiful meatballs. And let me now just serve up a couple. Grated Parmesan cheese over the top. So many options. You know when you're looking for a ladle, you can never find one. Okay, we found one. Okay. So, actually I do have a little bit of pasta here. Maybe I could pop some of that under. Okay, are you ready? See, now I wish I had mushrooms. It would have been such an amazing addition. Are you all excited about what you've just created and how amazing it smells? So you can see, voila, we have our meatballs in tomato sauce. Absolutely fabulous. So I hope that you're enjoying, well, you will enjoy this recipe tonight. I hope that you find that your kids love it. Next time, just hide some extra vegetables. They'll never know. But great way to be able to get the kids involved in the kitchen as well. So we really hope that you enjoyed that recipe. You know, if there's things that you want to see, please make sure that you let us know, because we would love to be able to show you new things, and if you're struggling with things as well. So, as you know, at the end of every one of our lives, we like to give you the opportunity to win one of our fabulous cookbooks. So congratulations to all of you who have won so far. And what we do is once everybody has answered the question, tonight we'll put you all into a draw and we will pop up there for you who our winners are, and then you just need to contact us, which is exciting. So make sure you jump on and do that. The question that I'm going to ask you tonight is, what function did I use when I was dicing or chopping up, I'm not going to say the word, when I was chopping up my parsley and the garlic? Okay, so what function did I use when I did that? So I want you to pop that on to the Facebook Live. You've got an hour or so to do that, and then we're going to announce the winners probably tomorrow morning. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I also hope too that you found the sound a bit better. We're trialling a microphone, so hopefully you found that the sound was a little bit better. So we'd love some feedback if you thought that it did make a difference, if you're a regular on our lives. And enjoy your dinner, and we'll see you soon.